Welcome to this explainer. Have you ever noticed how time just seems to speed up as you get older, like it just flies by? There's actually a neurological reason for that. Our brains process familiar routines faster and faster, which basically compresses our memory of those days, causing that absolutely terrifying sensation of lost time. Well, today we're unpacking a short but incredibly potent piece of text that hits deeply on this very phenomenon, the illusion of time. We all kind of operate under the assumption that our days just stretch out endlessly in front of us, right? But the source material we're looking at today delivers a really profound and heavy warning. It asks us to slow down, to really reflect, and acknowledge a quiet reality, the way years of our lives can literally vanish, just passing by in the absolute blink of an eye, all while we remain entirely stationary.
I want you right now, as you're taking this in, to truly sit with these words. One day, you'll wake up. Actually imagine opening your eyes 5, maybe 10 years from today, looking around and feeling this sudden, chilling realization completely wash over you. Nothing has changed. Zero. Your circumstances, your environment, your struggles, they are exactly the same as they are right now. The text forces us to break the fourth wall of our own lives here and confront this terrifying scenario head-on. It's asking us to visualize the devastating weight of realizing that an immense block of your life has passed without a single meaningful shift in your reality.
And this brilliantly illustrates exactly what that kind of life stagnation looks like under the microscope. We so often anchor ourselves in place with the same comfortable routine and the exact same tired excuses. And hey, it is comfortable, isn't it? There's definitely a certain safety in the known, even if the known is fundamentally unsatisfying to us. But the painful contrast our source draws here is what happens to our ambitions. They remain the exact same dreams you never chased. It completely exposes the everyday tragedy of choosing the comfort of a daily excuse over the long-term fulfillment of a real goal. We just get so caught up in defending the reasons why we absolutely cannot take action today that we slowly, almost unnoticeably, abandon the very ambitions that give our lives meaning in the first place.
So why does this happen to so many of us? How on earth do we let this occur? Well, the text gives us a stark, deeply unsettling answer. Time doesn't warn you before it disappears. Really think about that for a second. Time is, essentially, a silent thief. There's no loud alarm bell that rings to notify you when you've just wasted an entire decade. You don't get a helpful calendar notification popping up on your phone telling you that you've officially run out of chances to pursue your potential. The source takes this abstract philosophical concept of lost time and makes it intensely personal and deeply urgent. The thief is literally already in the house, and the clock is ticking quietly in the background right now. Okay, let's dive into this, because we really need to understand the mechanism of this theft. How exactly does our time slip away so easily? Well, it's often been said that tomorrow is the busiest day of the week, right? Because that's when we plan to do literally everything. According to our source text, this theft almost always begins with 4 incredibly common, seemingly innocent words. I'll start tomorrow. This is the core of what we can call the tomorrow trap. It's identified here as the absolute most dangerous excuse a person can ever use to delay their ambitions. Tomorrow feels so safe. It's a comforting lie because it requires absolutely zero effort from you today while still allowing you to feel like you have a proactive plan. But relying on tomorrow, it's a devastating trap. Let's move to and see how this builds, because the tomorrow trap never, ever just stays as one single tomorrow. You delay for one day, and that quickly snowballs into next month. Next month accelerates, pushing right into next year. Faster and faster. The compounding effect of your procrastination is vicious. It speeds up like a runaway train with absolutely no brakes. Days bleed into months, months bleed into years, and before you can even process the blur of time flying by, the train screeches to a halt, and you are abruptly deposited at the final, inevitable destination, living a life you never wanted.
Okay, stop right there. Let's just halt for a second and take a breath. Because right at this peak moment of despair, the text offers a powerful, incredibly grounding reality check. Successful people aren't special. They just started earlier. Wow. It is such a grounded, sobering perspective, isn't it? This brilliantly demystifies the entire concept of success. In our culture, we absolutely love to build up these grand mythologies around high achievers. We tell ourselves they have some innate magical talent or some lucky gene that we somehow just lack. But the source material completely strips all of those excuses away. The secret isn't magic, it isn't destiny, it is literally just the mechanical act of starting.
Now, what's really interesting about this is how the message boils the vast, messy complexities of life down to a simple, undeniable binary, a fork in the road. On one side, you have the people who took a breath, stepped into the unknown, and simply started earlier. And on the other side, you have everyone else, the people who kept waiting for that perfect moment that, spoiler alert, never arrived. There is absolutely no murky middle ground presented here. The text challenges you to look at this clear division and accept that the only functional difference between the life you currently have and the life you desperately want is action versus hesitation.
But here is the pivot. Here is exactly where the dark warning transforms into incredible light. Right now, you still have time. I really want you to truly let that sink in. Shift your focus away from the heavy regret of the past for a minute, and just feel the immense power of this current, present moment. Yes, the clock is ticking, and yes, for sure, time is finite. But you are still here. You are still in the game. You currently hold the absolute power to act. The source really wants to empower you right now, reminding you that your narrative isn't finished yet. The pen is quite literally still in your hand.
So the crucial point is how exactly you choose to use that time you still have left. The text doesn't just leave us floating around with vague, feel-good motivation. It lays down 4 highly actionable pillars for immediate execution. Learn skills, build income, improve yourself, and change your future. This isn't just abstract philosophy. It means dedicating, say, 20 minutes tonight to actually learning a new piece of software, or sketching out a freelance idea instead of just aimlessly scrolling on your phone. You dedicate actual, scheduled time to learn a valuable skill. Then you leverage that skill to build your income. Through that disciplined process, you inevitably improve yourself as a person. And the ultimate result of following those tangible steps, you completely, fundamentally change your future.
Which brings us to the final, absolutely unavoidable ultimatum the source leaves us with. If you have goals, dreams, or ambition, will you wake up now or will today turn into regret? It is a deeply provocative question designed to force your hand. Because honestly, you cannot unsee the reality of the tomorrow trap now. You have to make an immediate decision about your future the second this explainer ends. Will you close this, nod your head, and fall right back into the comfort of your same routine? Or will you let this be the exact moment, the exact day you finally wake up and start? The choice is entirely yours.